Hi, everybody. Good morning and good afternoon. My name is Vittorio Garbuio, and I am a cloud solution architect, part of the EMEA Cloud Pursuit team. I will be going through a demonstration with regard to how to interconnect OCI to other cloud service providers. So these are some of the most common use cases with regard to hybrid and multi-cloud. So now I will be going through the first demo, which consists on connecting OCI to Google Cloud via a virtual cloud router solution. And I will be using as a virtual cloud router Megaport's cloud router. So as a first step, I'm going to log in into the Megaport's portal. I'm going to create the virtual router. I'm going to select Germany as a region for the sake of this demo, and I'm going to select the data center, which is Equinix. I'm going to choose the rate limits. I'm going to give the virtual cloud router the name. I'm going to hit the next and add the Megaport cloud router. I'm going to submit the order. And there you go. I got my cloud virtual router ready to go. Now I'm going through the second step, which consists on connecting Google Cloud to the Megaport cloud router. Well, I have, by the way, already created the network components inside both clouds. So in other words, I have created the virtual cloud networks and the cloud routers, as well as the virtual machines within the virtual cloud networks, from which I would test ultimately the interconnection between the two clouds. So let's go now through the second step. So I'm going to log in into the Google Cloud Platform. I'm already in my multi-cloud project. I'm going to the hybrid connectivity, and I'm going to select the interconnect option. Oops, sorry. So I'm going ahead and I'm creating the interconnectivity. I'm going to choose the partner interconnect option. I'm going to select the creation of a single VLAN for the sake of the demo. I'm going to select my virtual private network within Google Cloud, which resides in the Frankfurt region. I'm going to select the cloud router I already created, which is ultimately the equivalent of the dynamic routing gateway within OCI. And I'm going to go ahead and create the interconnection. I'm going to copy the pairing key. And I'm going to log in back to the Megaport portal. So under the virtual cloud router, I'm going to create a connection, selecting Google Cloud as a cloud provider. I'm going to paste the pairing key, and I'm going to select the data center where I want to create the connection. I'm going to give that name to the connection. I'm going to select the rate limits. And I'm going ahead and on adding the virtual circuit. I'm going to submit the order. And there you go. I got my circuit up. So back to the Google Cloud Platform console, I'm going to hit on the activate button, which would allow to accept the connection request coming from the service provider. And after a few seconds, if I hit on refresh, I can see that my circuit has gone up. All right. So we have created the virtual router. And then second, I just showed you that we have created the Google Interconnect connection. And now we are ready to go through the third step, which consists on creating the connection towards Oracle Cloud infrastructure. So first of all, I'm going to log in into the Oracle Cloud. And in my compartment, I'm going to create the Fastconnect connection, selecting all the service provider connection, selecting the private virtual circuit, selecting the DRG, which I created in Frankfurt, the provisioning bandwidth of 1 gig, and typing the BGP information, as well as the BGP ASN. I'm going to copy the OCI ID, which is the equivalent as the pairing key in Google. And back to the Megaport console, I'm going to add the second connection. I'm going to choose the Oracle as a cloud service provider, and I'm going to paste my OCI ID. Once it's been validated, I have chose the data center, and I'm going to ahead typing the BGP information. I'm going back to copy the BGP ASN related to my peer, and once I got my configuration, I'm ready to go ahead and add the virtual circuit. I'm going to submit the order. And after a few seconds, I got also my my second connection up. Now I'm going into the cloud router on Google Cloud Platform, and I'm going to check the logs. As you can see, Google Cloud Platform has received already the Oracle Cloud infrastructure prefixes, right? These last two rows are related to the two subnets I have created inside the virtual cloud network within Oracle Cloud infrastructure. So is everything up? Is everything, the BGP advertisement has gone through successful as well. So now I am ready to finally verify actually the connection, just making a ping between the two clouds. And as I said, I'm going to use two virtual machines that I have already created in Oracle Cloud as well as in Google Cloud. So first of all, I'm going to use the virtual machine which I created in Oracle Cloud. So I'm going back to the Oracle Cloud console. I'm going to choose my instance, which is called OCI VM. I'm going to copy the public IP. And from my client, I'm going to SSH into it. And now I'm going back to Google Cloud Platform. I'm going to, under Compute Engine, I'm going to see the information with regards to my virtual cloud machine. I'm going to copy the private IP. And finally, I'm going to make a ping to it. And as you can see, the connection, it's established pretty well. Similarly, I'm going to SSH to the Google virtual machine, and I'm going to ping the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure virtual machine. And as you can see, I got the same results with actually, a fairly good latency as well. Now, I'd like to show you in this second demonstration how to interconnect OCI to AWS this time. And this time, I'm going to use another virtual cloud solution, which is provided by Equinix, and is called Network Edge, right? So it's pretty much similar. So I'm going through the first step, right, which would consist on creating the virtual cloud router. So I'm going to log in into the Equinix portal. I'm going to create a virtual device. For the sake of the demo, I'm going to select the single edge, and I'm going to choose a router, right? This solution, unlike Megaport, provides you with the ability of choosing a particular virtual network function that you like, right? So in this case, I'm going to choose Cisco, and I'm going ahead. I'm going to use Ashburn as region. I'm going to select my account. I'm going to select the licensing model. I'm going to give a name to the edge device. I'm going to enter my email for receiving the notifications. I'm going to hit the bandwidth desired, and I'm going ahead. I'm going to review the configuration. I'm going to accept the terms and conditions, and I'm going to create the virtual router. Right? As you can see, all right, has been provisioned, and the licensing is registered. Right, so now I'm ready to go through the second step, right, which would consist on creating the connection towards AWS. So I'm going to log in back to the Equinix portal, and I'm going to create the first connection under the virtual router. I'm going to choose AWS as a cloud service provider, and I'm going to choose the direct connection service. I'm going to select my virtual cloud router I just created in Ashburn as origin. And I'm going to select the Ashburn OCI region as destination. I'm going to give the name to the connection, selecting the connection speed, and I just typed the AWS account, which is basically the information which I need to create the connection. So once I got everything set up, I can go ahead and submit the order. All right, success. All right, the order was submitted. So I am going back now to the AWS portal console, navigating through the AWS direct connections. I'm going to select the connection I just created, which is in ordering state, as you can see. I'm going to accept the request of connection, which comes from Equinix. I'm going to confirm it. And I'm going to create the virtual interface, right, which is the virtual connection. I'm going to choose the virtual interface type, which is private in this case, which would ultimately create the private link. I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to select the direct connect gateway, which is the equivalent as the dynamic routing gateway within OCI. and I'm going to type all the information with regards to the BGP, right? Okay. So I'm going back to the Equinix portal under connections, and I'm going to complete the configuration, adding the BGP information within the AWS connection. So you can see now is in provisioning. Right, so I have created my virtual router as well as the AWS connection, and now I'm ready to go through the third step, which consists on creating the OCI connection. So I'm going back to the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure portal. I'm going to create a Fastconnect connection, selecting connection through a provider. In this case, I'm going to choose the Equinix as provider. I'm going to select private virtual circuits and type all the information with regards to the BGP. I'm going to copy the OCI ID, and I'm going back to the Equinix portal and create the second connection towards Oracle Cloud Infrastructure in this case. So I'm going to choose the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure Fastconnect, and I'm going to create the connection, selecting as origin my virtual router, which runs on Ashburn, and as destination the OCI region, Ashburn. I'm going to give a name, paste the virtual circuit OCI ID. I select the connection speed, and there you go. I am going to submit the order, and I got my second connection created. I'm going to complete the configuration, selecting again the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure connection, and paste all the BGP as well as the ASN, the Oracle BGP ASN, which I need to complete the configuration. There you go. It's provisioning. Okay, so I have both connections created towards the two clouds, and therefore I'm ready now to go through the final step, which consists on testing verifying the BGP advertisements. These, as you can see, is established the BGP advertisements towards AWS. And for double checking, I'm going also to double check on the AWS console. So you can see it's up the circuit, the virtual interface. I'm going to check also the BGP that is established also on the OCI side. So I got the BGP established on both sides, and therefore I can go ahead and test the connection. I'm going to use the AWS virtual machine. I'm going to connect to it, and I'm going to finally ping the OCI virtual machine. And as you can see, it works well. And this brings to the end of my session.